Welcome to Personnel Policies, Resignation, Retirement, and Dismissal, Module 4. Welcome to our comprehensive overview of the school district's personnel policies. This presentation covers the essential guidelines governing employee resignation, retirement, and dismissal procedures that all staff and administrators should understand. These policies have been carefully developed to ensure fair treatment of all district employees while maintaining high educational standards for our students. Understanding these policies helps protect both individual staff members and the district as a whole. Policy number 7900, Resignation Procedures. Early notification. Professional employees should submit resignation plans in writing as early as possible to facilitate proper staffing. Effective date. Resignations become effective at the end of the notice period unless the superintendent approves an earlier date. Notice period. A shorter notice period requires superintendent consent and a minimum 30-day notice for certified and 14-day notice for classified employees. Submission process. All resignation letters must be submitted directly to the supervisor for processing. Policy number 7905, Criminal History Considerations and Resignations. Superintendent's duty to report. The superintendent or designee must notify the State Board of Education if a teacher's criminal history is relevant to their resignation, regardless of whether adequate notice was provided. Information disclosure. This reporting requirement exists to maintain high ethical standards across educational institutions and protect student welfare. The notice should be shared with your supervisor or member of HR within 48 hours of the incident. Confidentiality balance. While personal information is generally kept confidential, criminal history that affects professional standing must be reported to state authorities. Policy number 7910, Retirement Guidelines. 1. System alignment. Retirement aligns with the teachers and state's employees' retirement system of North Carolina guidelines and benefit structure. 2. No mandatory age. No employee is required to retire at any specific age, allowing for career flexibility based on individual circumstances. 3. 60-day notice. Employees must notify the Human Resources Department at least 60 days before their intended retirement date. 4. Exceptions. Notice period may be shortened if health issues or other extenuating circumstances make longer notice impractical. Policy number 7920, Reduction in Force. Teachers and administrators. System reorganization. Structural changes to school system organization may necessitate staff reductions to align with new management models. Decline in enrollment. Reduced student population may require fewer teacher positions to maintain appropriate student-teacher ratios. Educational integrity. Primary consideration remains maintaining a sound and balanced educational program during any reduction. Financial exigency. Budget constraints or funding reductions may create financial necessity for reducing staff positions. Policy number 7920, Reduction in Force, RIF considerations for teachers and administrators. Performance excellence, work performance quality, and evaluations. Licensure areas are reviewed, specific teaching credentials and qualifications. Program enrollment, student participation in specific programs. Length of service, tenure with the district, and experience. The superintendent evaluates these factors holistically when determining which positions will be eliminated during a reduction in force. This multifaceted approach ensures decisions serve both immediate needs and long-term educational goals. Each factor is weighted according to district priorities and specific circumstances surrounding the reduction in force. Documentation of the decision-making process is maintained for transparency. Policy number 7921, classified personnel reduction. Board approval required. The superintendent must secure prior board approval before implementing any reduction in classified staff positions. Superintendent recommendation. The superintendent evaluates staffing needs and makes specific recommendations to the board regarding which positions should be eliminated. Performance assessment. Job performance records are reviewed as primary criteria for determining which specific employees will be affected by the reduction. Qualifications evaluation. Degrees, licenses, certifications, and other qualifications are considered as indicators of an employee's potential ongoing contributions. Policy number 7930, professional employees, demotion and dismissal. Performance standards. Professionally licensed employees must maintain above average performance and meet all established standards for their position. Inadequate performance. Failure to demonstrate competence in assigned duties or inability to meet performance expectations may result in dismissal. Misconduct grounds. Immorality, insubordination, neglect of duty, or other conduct violations provide grounds for demotion or dismissal from professional positions. Capacity concerns. Physical or mental incapacity that prevents fulfillment of professional responsibilities may necessitate separation from employment. Policy number 7940, classified personnel, suspension, and dismissal. Disciplinary suspension. Superintendent authority to suspend without pay. Written notification. Employee must receive written notification. Termination grounds. Non-discriminatory reasons required. Classified employees may face disciplinary action including suspension and dismissal for a variety of reasons. The superintendent or designee representative has the authority to suspend an employee without pay as a disciplinary measure, provided that written notice is given to the employee. Termination may occur due to inadequate performance, misconduct, failure to follow board policies, or as part of a reduction in staff. All termination decisions must be based on legitimate business reasons that are neither discriminatory nor otherwise prohibited by law. Policy 7950, non-career status teachers non-renewal. Sufficient cause. The board may refuse to renew the contract of any non-career status teacher when the cause is deemed sufficient by the board. Non-discriminatory. Non-renewal decisions cannot be arbitrary, capricious, discriminatory, or for reasons prohibited by state or federal law. Notice timeline. If non-renewal is recommended, the superintendent must provide written notice to the teacher by June 1st. Reason request. Upon request, teachers have the right to know the specific reasons behind the non-renewal decision. Documentation best practices. For administrators, maintain detailed records of all performance issues. Document interventions and improve plans. Keep copies of all formal communications. Follow protocol notification timelines. Consult with HR before taking adverse employee actions. For employees, keep personnel copies of all evaluations. Document notable achievements. Save copies of resignations or retirement letters. Request written confirmation of verbal agreements. Track dates of important employee discussions. For all parties involved, please document, document, document. Key takeaways and resources. Reminder, 60-day notice required for retirement planning. 30 days notice minimum for early resignation. 4 key policies covering employment transitions, and June 1st is the deadline for non-renewal notices. For additional guidance on personnel policies, please contact the Human Resources Department. Complete policy documents are available on the district's intranet portal under Staff Resources. Thank you for participating in Module 4.